Howdy guys, I'm AutoEdits Jason, and today I'm going to be bringing you with me on a very special trip into Death Valley. We're here at Ballarat, my favorite jumping off spot to most of the southern end of Death Valley. We're going to hit Goler Wash, Mengel Pass down into the Striped Butte Valley. So hop on board, let me talk about this trip, and let's see what this adventure brings. It's been a long time since I've gone out by myself and really enjoyed the desert and kind of done like a little vision quest, so to speak. So the goal for today, I have a super soft target of hitting the Furnace Creek Inn and getting a really, really good dinner at the restaurant they have there. I looked and they don't have any rooms, so I'd be camping. So that's a soft goal, but also if it just gets too dark, I'm okay with staying at the Geologist cabin. I have a really interesting few days planned, and if you guys come along, you're gonna like this. We're gonna hit all of the hard trails this time in Death Valley, so that'll be fun. Kind of getting back to my roots of getting out and adventuring and pushing myself, and I'm glad you guys are here because the few of you that watch these videos, I really appreciate you. You really help me. I can't explain it. If these videos help you, I'm super glad. But the fact that there are a few of you out there that keep watching, boy, that means a lot. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we're at the start of Goler Wash. This is easy, nice canyon. Most 4x4s can get through here. Mengel Pass sometimes gets a little washed out. I'm gonna air down. So we're gonna just this is the kickoff. This is right now, that last little stretch of road was where I get my big inhale. Now we air down and start creepy crawling up in here, put it in 4 low and get some work done. Oh gosh, it's really nice in here. You know what I forgot to do? Check this action out. Pop top, Sunrider. That's what I'm talking about. Sunrider life. Now, let's go. Oh, it's absolutely perfect out. What's the temperature say? 75 degrees. On this nice March 7th of the 2022s. Here's a quick setup update. I've taken the wheel spacers off. I had 1.5 inch wheel spacers all the way around because the way the sway bar links in the rear, they would just touch the tires. So I want to take the spacers off. And so what I did was I'm experimenting with no rear sway bar. Now I know there's lots of manly men out there that never run it and never need it and don't run sway bars. I know. I miss it. I miss that rear sway bar just on the drive out here. I have a feeling that it's gonna be super nice on all this stuff. So we're still in Goler Wash. This is nearing the point where it turns into Mengel Pass and actually gets kind of technical. Well, I gotta say, this steering is night and day easier through stuff like that. Now I'm not locked up since this is just such an easy little section, but it's really nice to have kind of that data point of where you would have to make sure and plan to feed steering inputs into it, and now you just drive. I love it. Just concentrate on wheel placement. Like we're gonna take this little section right here. See, that looks like the fire road. This looks like an option section, like air quote, but it's not really anything. I'm in 2nd gear, 4 low, just kind of tiptoeing through there. And just having the steering feel like this is pretty good. And the Jeep just squishes right through all this stuff. And I have the Metal Cloak lock and load suspension, if you guys remember, and I have that loosened up right now, so I have it unlocked for full articulation up there. And I have to say, when I was taking the Tahoe through here in October of last year, the thing I kept thinking was how comfortable and smooth that thing just kind of oozed its way through all this stuff, because there was so much chassis flex and just the IFS felt really good. Well, guess what? This solid axle Jeep with this setup right here, even more comfortable than that, and then add to that just great steering. I think we're gonna take this fun little section to the right again. Why not? Jeep's feeling pretty darn good. It's funny. I wouldn't have done that section with the Tahoe, just because of ground clearance and rocker panels. But this is kind of why you build a Jeep like this, because stuff like that becomes, instead of, which way do I have to go? It's, which way is the most fun out of all of the options? So, gosh, it's good. And it's so comfortable. We got quite a bit of ground to cover, even if we're gonna just try to get to the Geologist cabin today. 3:15, so we'll put the spurs to her, put it in 4 high, and make some ground. Let's go. There's the striped butte. We are making great time. I think that's the fastest I've ever gone through there. And I'm not trying, I'm literally just chilling, setting up GoPros, doing that, but the Jeep is just that good right now. So we're here, and the flag's not up. Nobody's here, we got the place to ourselves, but it's so early. I just didn't anticipate making such good time getting here. Hello, Geologist cabin. Let's check it out. So this beautiful little cabin is situated right here above the Striped Butte. And that's why this is called the Striped Butte Valley. It's called the Geologist cabin, or if you find it online, sometimes it's called the honeymoon cabin, because it's just so quaint and has this cute little overlook. But it's a miner's cabin, and it's actually somewhat contemporary, like early, mid 19th century stuff. So let me take you for a tour of the little cabin here. Oh, it's so clean. The campers have been so good to this place over the last few years. There have been times over the last couple of decades that I've been coming up here that it was a big cleanup. Every time I got here, it was big time cleanup, sweeping, and people weren't as this. I hope you guys can see. The floors are spotless already, so whoever stayed here this last weekend, this is a Monday, so I came in on the tail end. That's how I like to cheat. That's a pro tip here to getting these things, is weekends are obviously, you know, it's first come, first serve. There's a flagpole out front, you get here first, fly the flag on the flagpole, and that lets people driving by know. I don't even have to sweep this time. It is that good in here. Normally I would just at least broom it out if I come in and visit, but somebody had just left today. I got the report from them, one of the people going out, and they did a great job. So Death Valley people that use the cabins, thank you. You guys are being rad, and for future users, please be as rad to this place. But check it out, games, radio, fireplace is great. Like I was anticipating, I have firewood in the Jeep. Sink, and then this is the view. I've had a few good meals at a table right here by this window, and you can kind of guess that it's a very good vibe here. Very good vibe. All right, cabin. Well, the sun is just about down on that mountain, and I think I'm gonna make the call. I think we're gonna hop back in the Jeep, and we have about hour and a half, 2 hours worth of haul and tail down Warm Springs Road into the bottom of Death Valley and up to Furnace Creek, because I love the restaurant there. That's my favorite place to stay here. So I say we send it. Let's saddle up and head to Furnace Creek. So I think this is the right call. Oh, I have all this firewood. We got the geologist cabin to ourselves, but that big steak dinner and a big beer at the campground, jumping in the Warm Springs pool, has won out. So we're gonna send it. Now, I'm not even gonna air up. My All-Stars are tough like that, and I'm gonna leave the suspension unlocked. Let's go. So we're coming up to the highway. Now, according to the Googles, we're 50 miles from Furnace Creek. In my head, I have amnesia. I thought it was like 20 miles. So we're gonna see how the tires feel. I still have them down at like 14 PSI. That's not ideal for the highway. And if you're just gonna do a short blast, like when I go to Moab, I lower the tire pressure at the beginning of the week and just drive around and do all the trails and drive around town. But this may be a bit too far. So let's just kind of sneak into this and see, but really good day so far. Can't complain. So trying to maintain my reputation of being an ever good tour guide, we are now in Badwater. We're gonna be driving through Badwater, and Badwater is known as the lowest place. Badwater Basin, minus 282 feet. Salton Sea is close, 227. We have to go all the way over here to the Dead Sea, minus 1360 is the deepest or the lowest place on the planet. Pretty cool, right? So there you go. This is the season. This is why I go in the summertime, definitely during the week. That place is packed, but Badwater, there you go. All right, so we made it to the ranch at Furnace Creek, and bit of drama. I actually cheated and looked at the website this morning before I left, and they had at least 2 camp spots available. According to the guy at the desk, that's incorrect. There are nothing. They're completely booked solid. So, and everything around here is full. So I'm gonna try. There's a place a bit down the road that way. I'm gonna see if I can get a camp spot there. Oops, swing and a miss on that one. So it's okay, we're gonna roll with it. So nothing here, we're gonna keep moving. I snuck into a campground that was about a mile down the way. It said full on the sign. I drove into the back here and found this little spot. So tomorrow morning I'll be able to hopefully just pay for my spot. There's no ranger in the station, and be able to get a good night's sleep, have a couple of drinks, and get charged up and ready for tomorrow. So it's a nice spot. I mean, look, it's beautiful. It's just different than what I anticipated. Still pretty good. We're in the dirt out in the middle of Death Valley, so could be way worse. Good morning, day 2. Decided to get up, get some gas, top off with gas, and the plan that I made last night, sleeping actually comfortably in the Jeep, was to head up to Eubehebe Crater, and then I'm gonna pick up all the hard trails. So Goler Wash is a fun 4x4, not hard. And then now we're gonna go do Eubehebe Crater, go show you the racetrack, and then Lippincott Pass, dun dun dun, and then Steel Pass and Dedeckera Canyon. So we're gonna do them all. Jeep adventure time. It's been a long time since I've been to the park in the high season, and it reminds me why I don't like it in the high season. I like coming out here when I have the illusion of having this place mostly to myself, being in a packed campground, traffic, just lots of people. It takes away a tiny bit of the magic for me it's still an amazing place. I encourage you to get out here whenever you can, but I'm spoiled because I live close and I've been coming here for decades, and I always plan it to where it's midweek, off season, when most people are scared to come here. Except the Germans. The Germans love coming here in the middle of summertime like I do. It's like a badge of honor for those guys. I run into the most German tourists out here. It's pretty hilarious. Our first tour stop of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is off to my left, and it's Eubehebe Crater. This was actually fairly recent in history terms. 2,000 years ago, a violent explosion happened when molten rock created a steam pocket and just exploded into the sky. Now, as much as I want this to be where the alien ship landed or, you know, an asteroid hit, it's, you know, the Earth. It's just Earth stuff. All right, I thought I'd try. I didn't want to cheap out on you guys and not at least take you down to the bottom, but this is why. I'm not in very good shape, and I don't feel like doing a gazillion Stairmaster steps today. And I've only gone 20 feet from the top. And forget this action. Let's get behind the wheel of the Jeep and go get some dirt womping fun that way. Oh. Feel the burn, ladies, feel the burn. We are now on Racetrack Valley Road, and according to the map, it's an hour and a half to the Racetrack Playa. Pop the top, it's a brisk 58 degrees. It's just darn near perfect feeling right now. Well, dang it, if we aren't just making really great time today. The Jeep is just floating over this stuff. It's just feeling so good. Steering's perfect. Suspension, I've been so happy with the long arm. We just made 20 miles of that dirt road, just an absolute breeze. Now, we are at Teakettle Junction. Teakettle Junction means that we're very close, about 6 miles from the racetrack that way. And if you go this way, it takes you up to Hunter Mountain and a bunch of other stuff. And to continue the tour guiding portion of this video, Teakettle Junction, I have on pretty good authority from an old-timer Death Valley guy that there was signage here back in the days, miner 49er days, that old miners hung a tea kettle from the sign to signal other miners that there was a spring water source around here. So that was what started it, and then it has become what you see behind me, an actual official national park sign that people honor it by putting their own tea kettle, and then they put like a little note who they are, or over here's one to a past loved one. So it's become kind of a cool thing. Giving you an example of just how this thing floats down this road. So just feed a little bit of steering in, just let it slip and slide its way, and it's just so wonderful and easy to do this. And look out ahead, that's the Racetrack Playa is in all its glory. That one's called the Grandstands. But the cool stuff and the hiking is down at the bottom where the actual racetrack rocks will be. So we'll take you out for a little bit of hiking out there to check those things out. But that's the grandstand. The tip here on Racetrack Playa is to go way down south. We're at the south end of it, and this is where most of the rocks have been, or at least this is where they start their journey because of the wind direction. Now, I'll show you in a minute, I'm just a few feet out from where the Jeep is, right over there, the parking. And what you'll see in this area where human beings, we're, a lot of imposter rocks. This is from somebody, and you can actually see the footprints, and people drag rocks and try to make the tracks out here. Don't do that, guys, come on, man. Anyway, so you'll see the imposter rocks close to the parking lot, and then hike out into the middle and towards this rock here to see the authentic ones. Now, really quick. I'll tell you how they think scientists, smart people have figured out why this happens. A heavy rain creates a layer of water out here, like a very shallow lake. Freezing cold temperatures turns that lake into ice. Raging winds come through here and they tend to go this way. So the rocks will come off that hillside, roll down into the playa here, and then the wind and that ice will help them shift across. And there's a few that have made over the years, made it pretty far back out into there. There's been some pretty significant storms to erase the track. But you can see the field of rocks much denser way over here across the playa. Now, the only drawback from hiking and sharing these cool little tidbits with you guys is that look how far the Jeep is away. It's just that tiny little dot all the way across the playa. We gotta walk all the way back there. We got wheeling to do, folks. All right, we'll hoof it back. Now we are headed out onto the dreaded Lippincott Pass. Probably should have some snacks before we tackle this. Let's go. Real bit sweet and salty. All the years I've been coming to Death Valley, I've mostly avoided this because of what I've heard about it. And especially at certain times of year, you definitely don't want to do this in winter time. If there's snow and ice on this, the consequences are dire. There's sheer cliffs that you could fall off of. So you want to be careful and have your wits about you. I would not have been brave enough to have trail mix in one hand and Lippincott Pass steering in the other hand without the PSC kit. This definitely makes it much easier. So I get it, this is not technically hard, but look at the consequences if this is washed out or you make a mistake. So don't make a mistake right here. Don't hold your GoPro like this and talk to it. But yeah, it's pretty intimidating. I still kind of find it very beautiful. But here's the terrain. So it looks like right up ahead here, we've had a bit of a boulder lanch. And so we have a boulder right in the kind of prime spot of the trail, splitting this into two lines. So I'm gonna try to miss my diff on this rock right here, skirt the boulder, and then squeeze around to the right, just like that. So as we go down this, I thought of a tip to share with you guys. This is one of those moments where I'm glad I got my power stop brakes. They actually give me confidence. I have the big brake kit on this thing I did years ago, and they do well. So I'm still in third gear for low, and it's kind of managing a pretty decent speed. So what you don't want to do is drag your brakes through here and get them hot. You just don't want to do that. So you want to make sure that you're in a gear that the engine helps keep the vehicle at a reasonable speed, and then you could scrub the brakes in intervals. That's how you manage the heat in your brakes to keep them at a good operating temperature. You don't want to overheat them and lose your brakes down this. That would add to the terror factor. Well, you have my attention. Sure glad I took my wheel spacers off. That would have been another 3 inches wide. But yeah, I just hugged the cliff embankment side on this side, and there was plenty of traction there. Well, there you have it. We just did Lippincott Pass. Seems like the scary parts are the washouts here down towards the bottom. So if you're sending it up, you get those out of the way, and then it's all just pretty and some good rocky climbing. Otherwise, trail review is beautiful. You know you're getting close to the hot springs when you see artsy-fartsy stuff like that. I can actually see the palm trees sticking up out in the middle of this desert area ahead of us. We just landed at the lower springs, and in there's a bunch of naked people in the natural warm spring, and you can see it's just beautiful. There's a campground over there, and it's a very artsy-fartsy, hippie kind of vibe. I'll see if I can shoot a little bit around here, and then there's an upper pool as well we're going to pass by on our way through. So check this out. Over there is the main spring at the campground, near the campground here, and then there's like a smaller, cooler spring here. A shower. This is what I was kind of looking forward to tonight, is taking a shower, getting rinsed off. I got a lot of Death Valley grime on me, but you could just kind of see the vibe is just so cool. I just dig it. I think I am a hippie, but I just love muscle cars and Jeeps, but I love this scene. Like I say, it's just still funny to see all these naked people over there. I wish I were that comfortable. I want to work on that maybe, but here, let's see if we can share it. There's a burrow over there. Good boy. Good boy. All right, I found another kiddie pool. So let's get a little bit of, oh, it's hotter than crap. I thought this was gonna be like a cool refresh, but no, it's hotter than crap. But let's get a little desert baptism going on. Oh, it still felt good, even though it's warm. Oh. All right, I think I'm gonna have to stay up here one of these nights. One of these days, come back up, just go all in the hippie lifestyle. All right, so I'm kind of mulling it over. There's enough sun. I've never run Steel Pass and Dedeckera, whatever it is, Canyon, up to the sand dunes. I say we send it. I may be totally wrong, just like last night, but I think we're gonna keep moving. All right, sand dunes it is. Let's get some wheeling in, more rock crawling. Take care, guys. All right, I'm so loving I'm just so into the Jeep community right now. I've just been stopped and chatting with other Jeepers, and those two wonderful folks right there giving me some tips, and I was telling them that I was a little nervous about Steel Pass, and he's like, it's a piece of cake, you're gonna love it. They came down it the other day. Here's the other thing. So it was just nice to interact with them. They had a cool Jeep. Oh, look at that. They're living that Sunrider life too. Yeah, buddy, you know it. This is the upper pools, and you'll see there's a fence around it, and we had to sneak through that fence, and that's to keep the burros out of this protected area here. They're hard on the local shrubbery. So let's see if there's I want to sneak up on any naked people, so let me put this away for a second, but pretty nice. And again, the palm trees were the dead giveaway as I was coming up past the actual warm springs down there. So this is what the land would look like without the burros trampling and eating it. So that's why they keep the fence around this one. And here is the spring. No nudies in here. This one's much more organic. So like this is the hardcore for more of the hardcore, because there's actually like algae and moss and things like that are like super gross to some. Like I wouldn't want to put my bare butt on that, but I'm a city boy, so you know, what are you gonna do? Not get in there, that's for sure. But I appreciate when you see people enjoying a soak and stuff like that. Like our Jeeper friends just enjoyed a nice soak in here. So there you go, the upper springs. Now we're gonna go up and hit the rocks. Update. We are just second gear, 4 high, putting in the miles to get up to Steel Pass from the springs. We've been going 45 minutes, almost an hour. So it's just a grind. And we're not even anywhere near a canyon or a pass. So we got a ways to go. We are in Steel Pass now, and it's just been kind of tiptoeing through. It looks like it goes across this pretty big expanse, and the dunes must be another canyon away, because that's when we hit Dedeckera Canyon, and I think that's where the real fun happens. So let's keep going. Okay, now it's getting pretty cool. We must be in Dedeckera Canyon. I'm not sure why I assumed I would be going up this obstacle. I watched it on the interwebs, and that would be so much more fun. But as you can see, with a Jeep like this, this isn't really a thing. This is just, I'm trying to get some good shots for you guys, but the Jeep does all the work. I didn't do anything. I just literally kind of aimed it at it, and it just sashayed right through there. So I just spotted that little guy while I was putting that camera over there, and again, I don't think there's gonna really be anything. The left side dictates where my driver's side tires will go, so it's just a matter of putting my tire there, do that, and likewise there. Piece of cake. Yeah, this Jeep is definitely like cheating. Same thing here. The right side is dictated by that wall right there, so we'll just sneak right up to it and then let the Jeep just creep right down that. That would be fun to go up. I'm tempted to turn around and climb those things, but I want to make the dunes by nightfall, and we're getting close again. So there you go, just another, like, so far that's the obstacles. Love it. This is fun. Okay, the fun continues with this fun little, I don't know, waterfall. What do you call this? I think the important thing on this one is just making sure the sway bar is disconnected, get all the flex you want and need. Again, there's a squeeze up there, so that's definitely the theme here. It's crazy how stable the Jeep feels through that. So this one, again, the wall dictates that side. I'm not gonna hug that, or I'm gonna hug it, but I can't climb it. So I'll just put my tire as close to that as possible. And just let the Jeep flex through here. Barely just think or aim it towards the obstacle and you're through with this thing so far. Wow. All right, I think we're getting close to the big reveal. There it is. Look at that gorgeous sight. Oh, if you guys can't get to Death Valley, put it on your list of things to do. I'll put a list in the description of a link to this entire route that I did. But wow, check your pulse if that doesn't make you feel special, or because, man, that's beautiful. Well, there you have it. Oh, nothing like a cheap beer in an exotic location. Ah, man, that hits the spot. Well, there's plenty of sunlight. I think we're obliged to go and climb on the dunes. Oh my God. Can you see the Jeep? It's that way down there. And unlike the Racetrack Playa, which was flat, decidedly, this is straight uphill. But the sun's going down. I'm trying to get to the top of that dune right there. Whew. Not relenting. Well, I made it to the beginner dune. There's probably the intermediate and then the advanced way up there at the top. There's no way I'm gonna make that actually before the sun sets, or actually in reality. I'm just spent, but boy, this feels good. Fun fact, these are the tallest sand dunes in the state of California. I don't know what the competition was, but these are. Maybe that one right there is, so there you go. Thank you guys so much for coming along on this journey. I really, really enjoyed pushing the Jeep, pushing myself, and just getting out and doing some adventure. If you want to see more of these, please let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for coming along for my birthday celebration, and until next time, enjoy your drive. Whew, I'm gonna sit here, watch that sunset, and then I will probably crawl my way back down to the Jeep. Whew, and then light a fire. Oh.